I'm going to show you guys how to make this super easy crossover halter top. We're going to start by taking a few measurements where the inner and outer parts of the halter are going to hit, the length of the shirt, and then we're going to measure the widest part of our chest. So again, where we want the shirt to hit on the inside, wrapping the measuring tape around the neck, where we want the shirt to hit on the outside, wrapping the measuring tape around the neck, and this is the measurement for how much coverage we'd like, as well as finally the measurement in between the chest. And this is what our pattern is going to look like. So we're going to start by cutting the square piece, the square panel, which is going to be the base of the shirt, and we're using our C measurement and D measurement to cut out this rectangle. This is the second piece of the pattern, which is going to be the halter strap. This curve here represents your bra size, so the bigger curve, the bigger the bra size. Mine's quite a shallow curve because I'm a AA, so you can use that as a gauge. All the other measurements are shown on the diagram, but this is the general shape that you want to create with the measurements that you took. So when we're all done cutting, we're going to have 2 of the halter pieces as well as 1 rectangle. We're going to start by pinning the 2 halter pieces right sides together. And once those are all pinned, we can sew that together with a straight stitch, leaving a little gap that we can then pull the fabric through. Once the fabric's all pulled through, it helps to roll the fabric with your fingers to help the seam flatten out. And once we have it all flattened out, we're ready to iron it. Here I ironed in the seam allowance, which then allows me to just sew that up closed. We're now sewing the rectangle part of the shirt, so the base of the shirt. I'm using a French seam, which I've linked a video to do, but you can use any sort of stitch you like to close this up, and then just iron it so it's laying flat. We're now moving on to the hem, where we're just going to do a regular fold over hem. On the top side of the rectangle, we're going to iron down 1 centimeter and then use the measurement F to mark where we want to attach the halter. For the second bit of folding over and ironing, we want to make sure that the elastic is going to fit in between, and we're going to leave a little gap when we sew it so that we can slide the elastic through. Again, sewing just regular straight stitch and leaving the little gap so we can now thread the elastic through that hole. Using the markings that we've already placed, we're going to now pin down the halter and make sure that the neck is lying how we'd like it to lie when the shirt's actually worn. If you're happy with the pinning, you can now just sew along the seam that's already there so you're not adding another seam. Once you've tried it on and tested out the elastic is the right length, you can zigzag stitch it, trim it down, and enclose it back in the loop. And once you straight stitch this part closed, you're all done.